What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today we are going to be doing some stuff, getting things ready for paint prep. So look, I don't have a ton of parts right now to get painted, but I do have some stuff that I want to get addressed, and we're going to be taking the bed off of this thing relatively soon and getting this to a buddy of mine who's going to be doing the notch. Guys, I'm not going to do the notch on this thing. We are going to be dropping it, but look, before I do that, I want to take some stuff off for paint. So here's what I'm thinking today we're going to be doing. So I'm going to take this tailgate to get fixed and repainted. All right, so we're going to be taking the two-sided tape and crap off this, getting it out of his way. We're going to get the handle out of the way, the bezel that goes around it. All right, so we got that. Aside from that, on this truck, guys, I've got two factory door handles. They're actually already white, but I'm gonna have him repaint them. So that means we need to, you can see my parts, the stock hood off Cohen's truck. I got a couple tailgates that are junk, and then that black door handle over there, we got to take that guy off and switch it over to this just for now while he's painting that other door handle. So he's going to be painting both door handles. He's going to be painting, I'm going to pop these guys out of the grill because they're kind of tore up. I'm going to have him paint the bow tie white. I'm going to have him, of course, that one there. You can see what I'm talking about. We're going to pop this handle off today. It's just starting to peel, and so I thought, you know what, let's take him the easy parts. I'm going to take him the tailgate off Cohen's truck, which means we have to strip the old junk off of it as well. Cohen's truck's in the garage down here, the extended cab. It's got that pewter tailgate on it. We're going to take that out to him. I've got a set of white door handles for Cohen's truck. I've got a set of smooth paintable pieces like the bezel and the handle, so we're going to have him do that at the same time. And I think that's it. I think that's all the stuff we're going to... Oh, I've got a new... And look, guys, we've got parts strung everywhere, but I've got a new cap. I don't even see it over here. Oh, it's back there on the 52. So that's the cap, guys, that goes on the front bumper of the truck here. So I'm gonna get a new front bumper for this truck because this one's all dented up. But this cap right here, I bought a new GM one, and they don't come, these trucks never had a painted one. So what I'm gonna have my painter do is actually knock the texture off this, because you can sand the texture out of it, and spray the new one. And then we'll worry about putting it on when we get the new front bumper. I also have a new valance underneath. We're not going to get to that stuff today. So mainly today, guys, we're going to be taking stuff apart, getting it ready for paint, and getting it out to the painter. I think we'll start right here on the tailgate of this truck. Guys, normally these are not two-sided taped on. Somebody has obviously had issues with this one being broken and put two-sided tape on here. So we're going to have to, we can be a little more aggressive now because this thing's all dented up, and it's going to require quite a bit of body work. And the two tailgates that you guys saw outside, one came with Cohen's truck. It's all bent. That's freaking terrible. We're going to have to knock some glue off. I'm trying to make it easier on him so he doesn't have to come through and do all this crap. It's kind of my goal here. So now that we got that loose, that's trash. Let's get these, I think these are 13 millimeters. Let's get those out of the way and get the handle off. Yeah, they're 13s. And we're gonna keep these, obviously, because I don't think our new handle came with bolts. Probably didn't. All right, once you get this off, there's two clips down here that we need to push off and get the rods out of. See the little rods that come in, that pulls these together. So let's get that off next. I found sometimes the easiest way is to get a pair of needle nose pliers. Oh look, that one's broke anyway. Yep, toast. There's one side. Sometimes needle nose works. Sometimes they're brittle like this one, and it doesn't. Yeah, these are definitely been in here a hot minute. So you can see how they work. The rod, this comes up around the rod and then it pushes in. So we got that off there. So now I need to go grab my eraser wheel and let's hammer down on getting this crap off there. Now normally I'd clean this off a little bit before, but I didn't want to do this in the shop because I knew it'd make a huge mess. Not exactly sure what they used here. It's like super glue or something. I don't know what the heck it is. I don't know if that's gonna come off. I'm gonna have to sand that off. Go up here and get this too. Yeah, I think it'll clean up. I'm gonna go grab a towel, put some like adhesive remover on this, and maybe that'll start to break up a little bit. I don't know, guys. This is like super glue or something. This is why I don't understand, like, just fix it the right way. Well, after a lot of work, I got the leading edge. It took me a long time picking on that glue to get that off, but now there's also two-sided tape across this that I want to get off there. So I'm going to use my eraser wheel to get that off, and then, guys, I think we'll be good to go ahead and pull this tailgate off. Now, I went ahead and marked the areas I'm going to have them fill because, guys, I've never liked, it doesn't bother me on other trucks, but I've never liked on these where, see how high this is in comparison? I think the camera can see that, can it? Yeah, so like the trim on the bed, I would like to have something that went across here, which means we got to fill these holes as well. But he's going to be doing a lot of work on this. Guys, to get this down, once you've taken your handle out, if you just pinch these together. But I marked, this had a tailgate protector you see up there. I'm going to have him just weld up those holes before he paints it. But in order to take these off, it's not a lot to it. We pull this back. Okay, got to get that loose. And the same thing on the other side. And then what'll happen is we will lift from that side, because this is where it sets in. Lift that out and then pull towards the right. We got it out of the way. Now onto the door handle. Guys, I've left the inner panel off, so it's not on here, which makes life a little easier on you. You are going to have to remove your door panel. But guys, here's a couple things that you're going to need. I brought this one out here to kind of show you what we're dealing with. There's three 10 millimeters that hook this thing on. Now this is the driver's side. On the newer trucks, they quit putting a lock on the passenger side. So this truck does not have that. But what we need to do is we need to get this guy out of the way. But we're going to be reaching up and using a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench to get the other two, because they're kind of a ways up and you can't get a socket in there, okay, or a impact. You might be able to roll down the window and get to some, but here's what I do. I take this one out behind this with this guy, and then I use the 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench to get the other two. They shouldn't be very tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one out. We got to unhook that rod. There should only be one rod on it, and that's to go to the handle. And it is that same push style connection. So we're going to have to swing this out of the way and then pull the rod out of it. Okay, it's kind of hard to show you up in the door, although it is going to be up on this one. I might be able to get the handle out and show you on the outside. We'll just see. First one out. A lot of times you drop them in the door. Tell you what, I'm gonna go grab a magnet to get that one out. Actually, maybe even those pliers were closer, we'll just use them. So there's the little 10 millimeter, and then we're gonna have 3 of those to get this thing off. Need to go to loosen. And you can, doing it outside, to me, guys, is a little easier because you have a little more daylight to see in these nooks and crannies of the door. Wow, that one's super tight. Another thing you get to notice is, has the door ever been painted? Because a lot of times these crappy repair shops, they won't take this stuff off. They'll just try to tape around it and paint it. That one's snug all the way to the end. Generally, once you loosen them up, oh, just dropped it. But generally, once you loosen them up, they'll thread the majority of the way off without having to use the wrench the entire way. But you can see why I'm using a ratcheting wrench. See, like this one, I just loosened it and you can just free spin it off. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Okay, should be able to do this. All right, now you can see what I'm talking about. We'll swing this out of the way. This is the easy side. Woo, a little tougher than I thought. So that's out of the way, and I'm gonna wipe this off, and then I'm gonna slap that other handle out of that donor door, well, out of the door that we took off this thing in. I got that other door handle off. Same process, but now we're just threading this through. And I'm gonna have to drive this thing. It's the only reason I'm putting these on. So now, guys, tighten these up, but don't get crazy tight. You don't need a ton of torque on these. Got that thing snug down, so let's push this back in place just so it's out of the way. All right, I think we're gonna move to the front, get the pieces out of the grill next. Well, in order to get, if you have small enough hand, you could reach down in and get these off, but we're gonna have to have, I think it's gonna be easiest if we just release the leading edge of these. Okay, so these 4 up front. If we pop those out, I'm gonna use 2 screwdrivers instead of my little tool. These are put on with the 10mm speed nut, but we need the grill out in order to, these should just be clipped in. All right, I've got those out, so now let's see if we can get this out of the way. Should release now because we have that upper piece loose. There we go. Got to pull the bottom of the grill out. There's that. And there's that. Now, let's try to pull it out without scraping up our new headlights. Now, guys, if you notice, oh, shoot. I didn't think they were melted on. Okay, well, that sucks. I didn't realize they were melted on from the factory. Oh, crap. Okay, well, I'll tell you what that means. That means I'm not going to take him these. I wonder if this isn't the original grill. Because here's the situation, guys, with this. I'm going to take him the bow tie, but this guy here, I thought these were separate pieces, but you can see they're like melted on. I'd rather have a nicer grill if we're gonna do that, so I'm not gonna mess with those right now. But let's take the 10mm speed nuts out that hold this in, because I am gonna take them the bow tie. I got those speed nuts loose. I'm gonna put them back on just so we don't lose them. Guys, it's easy to strip these or break one of those studs, so just be careful. If it fights back at you, don't force it. This one's cracked. They paint these from the inside. This is actually clear, and so they start to delaminate. So I'm just gonna have them paint the outside, the whole outside of it white, and that'll look really nice, as opposed to buying, I mean, you can buy one, a replacement, but you can't buy a white one. All right, once we got that, I'm just gonna put this back in. Kind of bummed about the whole grill situation, but it just wasn't gonna work. We're gonna have to get a new grill at some point down the road. Let's clip these in. We'll start on the outers. Get the bottom in. There we go. All right, let's stick these back in here. Still looks pretty clean from when we did the headlights. Guys, I think for now that is it on this truck. So we got a pile of parts over here to take to him. Door handles, the tailgate handle and stuff's not there. Guys, I'll list it in the description down below because I had to buy it. And that tailgate's rough. He may want to punch me when he sees that tailgate. I don't know. Got a little less to remove on this tailgate on Cohen's truck. Just mainly because it doesn't have a bezel, which is good. We don't have to fight with some idiot putting super glue on it. I'm gonna order a new one of these. So if you guys are wondering, like, what are you doing with these? Well, I'm throwing them in the trash. They're cheap. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Now it wants to fight me on the back edge. Oh, there we go. All right, here's that. Let's get our 13 millimeter here. Pull this guy off. This tailgate's in pretty good shape. It's just the wrong color. Oh, I knew I'd forget some tool. I gotta get my needle nose pliers to get these loose. Now, got those loose, the needle nose. Get this guy out of here. There we go. Same situation, guys. I'm gonna thread these back in because I'm pretty sure that our new handle doesn't come with them. This tailgate's in really good shape. I mean, other than some, it's got some little scratches and whatnot, but. Well, I won't bore you with what I'm doing next, which is, there's not a lot to take off, just these sections right here. We'll get that done on the inside and outside, and then get this tailgate off. Boy, was this one easier to clean. Hadn't been painted on though. All right, let's get this thing off here if we can. Probably gonna pull these off so he doesn't have to mess with them. This is actually a recall from GM too. These cables. Lift out on this side. There we go. Off there. Now, just to have these out of his way, since he's got to paint this entire tailgate white, I went ahead and pulled these out. So make sure that you don't lose any of these pieces. Just think it'll make his life a little easier. I'm gonna do the same thing. These are just 13s, so. Okay, so that's all we're taking off of Cohen's truck. I guess they're kind of both Cohen's trucks, but either way, just the tailgate, because guys, we have the handle separately. So we have now the tailgate off, the other tailgate off, the two handles that we're repainting white, the bow tie. Sucks about the grill. Here's our new handles for Cohen's truck. So they're just a smooth replacement. Now notice, guys, on the older trucks, there's keyholes on both sides. So Cohen's truck actually has a keyhole on both sides, so make sure you're ordering the right ones. I'm gonna list these in the descriptions. I'll try to list the ones that don't require keyholes. I just lucked out and was able to get 2 doors. Actually, I found that at a salvage yard, the driver's side, but the passenger side came with the door. So I lucked out to find the GM ones. And then these are smooth bezels. I've got 2 of them, and smooth handles for the tailgate. And they do not have bolts in them. Keep your bolts. The other thing, guys, is these little keepers. Remember those plastic things we pull the rods out of? Make sure those are good as well. They should come with it. Like, all the new handles will come with it. But just in case, it's always a good idea to keep some extras laying around. And then this is the new front valance. Now remember, I said this is textured. He's going to have to sand the texture out of this in order to make this work. But This is the parts that I'm gonna have him paint white for now. I think these trucks are pretty much the same color. I'm not as concerned about the color matching. I'm gonna have him use that handle. So the handle that came with the door, that's the color we're gonna shoot for. So if he can get it to that color, I will be happy. So I don't think we're gonna have any problems there. And then down the road, guys, we may end up painting this whole truck. So I just wanna make it look better for the time being. I don't want black handles, I want white handles. So yeah, I got a little bit accomplished today, at least on removing some stuff. I actually need to take those 13 millimeters and the latches off of the white tailgate that we took out over there. I need to do that as well, since he's gonna have to go over that whole tailgate. And like I said, he may see that tailgate and be like, seriously, this is what you're having me deal with. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, you got to get subscribed. We got a lot coming on this, especially this dually build. So I think it'll be exciting. While you're down there doing all that, of course, hit the subscribe, ring that bell notification. That notifies you every single time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see what we work on next.